guys, welcome back to Days of Darkness, and welcome to my review of Predator 2. This one came out in 1990. It's starring Danny Glover, Gary Busey, and Bill Paxton, and was directed by Stephen Hopkins. Man, oh man, I was really looking forward to going back and checking this one out. It had been a little while since I've seen it, probably, a little over a year. Me and my girlfriend ran through the Alien and Predator movies, but holy shit, dude. Before I get all into it and what I think, I hear a lot of people dog on this movie. I hear a lot of people say that, oh, this movie is shitty, it's not nearly as good as this first one, it's such a downgrade, and a bunch of other shit. And there are certain movies that people fucking hate or just don't like, and I don't get it. This is one of those movies, man. I think what we have here, they could have went the easy route with Predator 2. They could have had another group of soldiers goes into that same jungle to investigate what happened, and at the same time, conveniently, another predator comes in to maybe recover some fucking left technology or some shit. You could have went a safe route and had the same sort of setting and the same kind of characters, and you could have done that. I just made a perfectly good pitch for another Predator sequel if they ever decide to fucking Halloween it and just wipe away everything. Please don't do that, because I love Predator 2. But you know what I mean. They could have easily went the safe route and said, okay, we're just gonna play it safe. This is what I keep saying. But they didn't. I think the setting in this is absolutely fucking awesome. Obviously, this was made in 1990, so a future 1997 Los Angeles. The complete opposite of what we had in the first one. And I think it plays in favor to this movie. I think the setting is very representative of the rest of this movie. I think this movie lifts enough from the original Predator. It definitely draws expiration. What the fuck? It definitely draws inspiration from the original, obviously. But it's such a different fucking movie, and it's such a risk. And I love when movies take risks like this. I fucking think the world of this movie, man. I think Danny Glover is a spectacular leading man. I really like the contrast between his character and Arnold's, and we'll get all into it here in a second, but I fucking really like his performance. Obviously, it's Danny Glover. He's fucking phenomenal. But I thought the decision to cast him in this was because, he is not a combat soldier. He is not some big, burly badass. I mean, he's a badass. He's a tough motherfucker, no doubt about it. Kind of have to be to go up against a predator, but he's not just this extraordinary guy. He's just a normal, everyday fucking guy who's tough as nails. And I think that works so well for this movie. I wouldn't have believed a big badass soldier in this role. I wouldn't have believed it. Danny Glover makes this movie. He carries this movie. I'm very comfortable saying that. There's a lot of people in this movie that are very good. Obviously, I mentioned Gary Busey and Bill Paxton. Another two phenomenal actors who do fantastic in this movie. Everyone does a really good job in this. But those three, they just fucking carry this movie. And they're fucking awesome. But Danny Glover puts that cherry on top, dude. He's fucking phenomenal in this. And I think the story itself is compelling, Again, you have the Predator who is attracted to conflict, and I really don't think this is a spoiler because you get it right at the beginning of the movie. You're in futuristic 1997. Woo, since this was made in 1990. A future 1997 Los Angeles riddled with drug wars and just gang violence, and the cops have very little control, and they're in the middle of one of the biggest heat waves ever. I think they said it's over 100 degrees daily, which is fucking insane. And that, to the Predator, sounds A-okay to him because they fucking love the heat. And yeah, man. and having him go up against a very different type of enemy. Obviously, we have Danny Glover, but everyone else that the Predator goes up against, except like Keys and his boys, which we'll get it all into that. But I think the world of this movie, man. I think it's fucking really rad. I think this is a great follow-up to Predator. It is, like I said, it has inspiration from the first one, but it is nothing like the first one, and I think it's all the better for it. We'll wrap up the spoiler-free section here. I absolutely recommend you go out and check this one out. It's fucking hilarious at times. It's brutal. It's a good fucking time. If you love Predator and you like good movies, you'll fucking love this one. And again, you'll hear some people say the opposite. I ain't one of them. I say go check it out. Without further ado, man, let's go ahead and spoil the shit out of this motherfucker. Let's get into the spoiler section. Alright, spoiler time. Your ass has been warned. So yeah, we open straight, I love the opening of this, just the very first shot of the camera kind of going over the wilderness, and it leads someone going into this movie completely blind that, okay, we're in another jungle. Nope, big shot of the city, big wide shot, and then bam, Predator 2, and it goes to the thermal vision. Fucking awesome opening. Awesome title card. And we immediately get into the drugs, baby. It sounded like I was introing Kill the film there. No, not the blood, the guts, and the gory bits. Not yet. No, we were talking about the guns, the drugs, and the gang war, man. Holy shit. LA has gone to hell in this movie. Oh my god. You have fucking news reporters running around. There's this huge, basically miniature war going on this street corner. Not a street corner, it's basically just a street. You know what I'm fucking saying. It's fucking madness. And that's how we are introduced to our main characters. We get Danny. We don't get Jerry yet, and I can't remember the girl's name. I am kicking myself in the ass for this. But we get introduced to all of our characters, man. And holy shit, Danny Glover comes in like a house of fire. He fucking breaks the door off one of the squad cars and is like leaning out and shooting a bunch of fucking bad guys, and awesome shit, man. Awesome. They eventually make their way into the building that the Scorpios, which is the gang's name, where they're hiding out in. And the I fucking love the gang members in this. They're so outrageous. They're kind of like their lead guy, not the guy, but one of the lead guys. Takes a he powders his nose. We'll say that. He powders the shit out of his nose, and he love him, dude. Just El Scorpio is ready. Fucking almost murdered my throat there. But yeah, dude. And then right as he says that, Predator drops in and goes, "No, you're not. You ain't ready, motherfucker." And we just hear, we don't see anything, which is a little unfortunate, but I get it. Just hearing these fuckers and these are hardened gang members, like these are killers. And they are just at the mercy of this, as Gary Busey's character Keys says later on, this fucking alien. Just completely murders and destroys everybody in that building, or at least everyone in that room. Harrigan and his guys and gal go in there, and yeah, man, everyone's fucked. And they make their way in there. Danny and them do. Harrigan pursues El Scorpio, who has made his way to the roof. He sees the Predator on the fucking rooftop, and Danny Glover thinks he's pointing at him, and sure enough, he's pointing at the Predator, and Danny's like, "Nah, I'm not risking it," and shoots the living shit out of this guy. Goes tumbling off the roof. Great scene there. I love and again, I said Danny Glover's character. I need to just start calling him Harrigan. There are certain actors that are just too recognizable to not call them by their name. But anyways, Harrigan, I love the fact, again, as I mentioned, he's an everyman. He's not just this extraordinary fucking superhero guy. Not saying Arnie was completely invincible in the first one, but the contrast is there, and it's very noticeable right off the bat. This guy is terrified of heights. He is 100% no-go when it comes to heights. And I like that about him. I like that they gave him a fucking weakness. And he's not this invincible, impenetrable guy, I fucking love it. He's peering over the edge. He's like, oh boy. He's like, oh God. Doesn't give a shit about the dead body at the bottom. He's fucking worried about the fall, which is understandable. He eventually sees the predator, and that's kind of his first instance of what the fuck is going on. And they're all confused, man, because these guys are ripped to fucking shreds. And there's no trace of anyone really coming in there and doing anything. So they're like, what? Or at least to them, there's no trace of it. So they're like, what the fuck happened? And they see the one guy who's, again, a fully grown fucking man, hung by just a board or something on the ceiling. And they're like, and Danny brings it up. He's like, dude, and he, talks to Harrigan. He's like, you couldn't even fucking lift him up there. So I love the fact that they're immediately, and this is all boom, 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 right out of the gate. And we have our story. Fucking incredible, man. This movie, right from Jump Street, does not fuck around. The first one was definitely, and in a good way, for sure. But the first one was very, very deliberate and not, I wouldn't say slow paced by any means, but it took its time and established the beginnings of the story before they really got into the heavy shit. Not here, dude. This movie starts out batshit crazy. I fucking love it. That whole opening sequence. There's a story here again. Harrigan being a very rebellious cop. The FBI very quickly sticks their nose in, a police matter because, according to Keyes, and he's very hush hush about everything, but Keyes knows exactly what the fuck is going on. He's part of the FBI. We're led later on to believe that, Dutch was the one who gave him all of this information, gave the FBI all of this information about what the fuck is going on. And when they get they're on the jump pretty quick, because this is the first instance, at least that I saw, we as the audience saw, of the predator. He could have been hunting there for a while. But, we're kind of led to believe that too, because he goes, the predator, goes to a, slaughterhouse to get meat. So I guess I'm kind of dumb saying that. He's been there for a little while, so the FBI sniffs him out. But yeah, we do not know that yet as the audience. All we know is Keyes does not want any other fucking cops involved in this at all. This is an FBI matter. Stay the fuck out of it. And Harrigan, being the ever rebellious guy he is, says no. And then we have our conflict, man. And then, sure enough, later on, we get some more, another great fucking scene with, start out with some fucking, this guy and his gal. He said fucking really aggressively there. But anyways, we start out with some sexing, some lovin's. And sure enough, the voodoo gang, King Willie's voodoo gang, busts in. Now, I'm under the impression that the guy who is, banging his girlfriend, he is of the same gang as the guys in the beginning who were, starting that whole shit down in downtown LA and all that jazz. So he's with them. Well, he's not with them because those guys are fucking dead. And he's about to be dead soon, too. But yeah, they bust in. Dick move, man. Guy's just trying to, have sex with his lady. You gotta fucking fuck it up. But I can't feel too bad for him because apparently this guy's a piece of shit. He's a big crime boss, and those guys are never the most upstanding individuals. So yeah, they hang him upside down. They start doing their voodoo ritual. The girl's kneeling down there, just fucking butt-ass naked, crying her eyes out. And you're like, oh my God. And of course, this guy's butt-ass naked too. And yeah, man, they start doing their fucking voodoo ritual. And you can kind of get the sense that maybe, you know, King Willie's henchmen don't really necessarily believe in voodoo. Because Goldtooth, the leader of this, like, particular pack of guys, is like, voodoo magic. Fucking voodoo magic, man. I'm not going to do a Jamaican accent. He goes, I'll tell you what I believe. Shit happens. So that leads me to believe, hey, I don't really believe in this shit. I just like money, and I like drugs. So I'm gonna kill you. And he fucking does, man. He drives a fucking knife right into this dude's chest. Absolutely brutal. As soon as that happens, the Predator comes down. We get some more deaths, and we get some new weapons, man. All of these weapons have been mainstays now in the Predator lore. We get the smart disc, which he showcases all of his new fancy shit. We have the telescoping spear that he uses. It's a very good effect. We have the net, the net fucking gets me, man. I still really, really want to see a Predator kill where he uses the net on somebody, but it's like overpowered. And when it sticks somebody, it like goes like Resident Evil style, goes through them and like dices them up in the itty bitty little pieces. Because I'm a fucking weirdo and I like shit like that. But yeah, man, he nets one of these fucking guys and it's digging into his skin. You're like, oh! That's all well and good. And a bunch of fucking death. Fires this like weapon into this one guy's, like he has wearing this big old hat and this fucking shuriken thing. Just fucking, you know, like, oh shit. You know, a lot of really, really good shit there, man. But yeah, they all fucking die horribly. And the Predator then leaves. Eventually, you know, news breaks out. Again, fucking Harrigan, man. He does not listen to shit. Him and his boys. We are actually introduced to Jerry as well, Bill Paxton's character, who again is a smart ass. I love the scene of him. And fuck, why can't I remember her name? Leona! Come on now, that's who it is. Anyway, so I love the scene where Jerry meets Leona and he's kind of putting the moves on her and shit. She is a very, very foxy lady, no doubt about it. So he's coming on to her and shit, and she just fucking grabs his dick, starts squeezing it. He's like, ha ha ha. She mentions the fact that his last partner died, and he goes, you try that cowboy shit with me, you can kiss this goodbye. She goes, got it? He's like, yeah, got it. Fucking great shit. So we get introduced to Jerry, but they all go into this now very much dead drug lord's room. It's just one room that we see. His place. They go into his place. Bunch of skinned bodies all fucking hanging upside down. And then this poor woman is just laying. She was just trying to get some dick, man. That's all she was trying to fucking do. And now there's a bunch of skin dead bodies. Her boyfriend's fucking hung up, stabbed in the heart. His heart's gone now, apparently. Fucking shit, man. Like, holy fuck. But yeah, so she's laying there. She's fucking distraught. And yeah, man. And eventually, Keys and his boys roll in. They're like, you need to get the fuck out of here. And the first time, Keys is a little friendly about it. He's like, this is not your issue. You need to stay out of it. Now he's getting a little pissed off. And he's like, okay, if I see you do this again, you're going to disappear. And you're like, what? Like, holy shit, this guy ain't fucking playing. But, you know, Harrigan didn't give a fuck. So he's like, no. But yeah, man, we get Also, I love the sleazy TV news reporter. It's like hardcore news or something he does, and he's a fucking piece of shit. So he's trying to record all this. How the shit do you get that on television? Like, just skinned dead bodies? How do you plan on airing this? I guess in their version of 1997, you can just show dead bodies and people getting shot, and fuck it, who cares? It's 97, baby. The year of darkness. The first year of darkness is the year I was born. But anyways, so they get kicked out of there. And at one point, Danny sees this weird piece of like this weapon that's stuck up in the ceiling. And so he goes back later on all alone to go find it, and he gets fucking killed by the predator. Like, he gets it, grabs it, and this predator is just like, that's mine. And fucking kills him. Yeah, kind of a lame death. You know, he just kind of takes him up in the ceiling. Whatever. But yeah, he's dead, and now it's fucking personal between Harrigan and the predator. Now it is no longer, I'm doing this for my work. You killed one of my best fucking friends. And as he says, I love Danny Glover's performance in this. He's like, he killed Danny and he's gonna fall, or something like that. I don't memorize the lines of these movies. I'm sorry. But anyways. But yeah, he's pissed. You know, now this is personal. And he has even more of a reason to get in Keyes' way. And yeah, man. So he goes to some pretty weird lengths to do this. Most notably, really the big one, is him and Jerry are walking around, and a car pulls up, and it's Voodoo gang members, you know, King Willie's boys. And Jerry's like, what the fuck are you doing? And he gets in the car. He's like, I'll call you later. You need to get out of here. He's like, do you want me to follow you or fucking the other? And he's like, no, I need you to go. And of course these guys are fucking hotboxing like a motherfucker in there. And I don't think they're smoking cigars. So, oh boy, it's about to get potent as a motherfucker in there. And they drop him off, and he's like, you guys need to cut back. And they fucking, they pull off. And I love King Willie, dude. Oh my God, for the brief little bit that we get him. Holy shit, he is awesome. I love King Willie. And he goes, I see, he calls him Mr. Policeman. And he's very cryptic, and he's like, whoever's killing you, your people and mine, ain't no man, or something like that. But he's very cryptic with him, and then eventually he's rattling these bones in his hand, and, you know, dumping it on this oil drum, and just very, very weird, very good performance by the actor playing King Willie. I fucking loved it. But sure enough, he goes, I think it's time for you to go, Mr. Policeman. And Danny Glover's like, okay. We won't listen to the FBI, man, but he knows better, and King Willie's a powerful motherfucker, so he's like, okay, and he leaves. Sure enough, right after he leaves, Predator's like, hey, did I miss anything? And fucking falls right into the puddle, which again, Predators are strong. He jumps from the top of a fucking building and just right into this puddle. And again, we get kind of a callback to the original Predator, where we think we're going to get this big, grandiose fight between King Willie and the Predator. You know, he says some chants, and then next scene, boom, his head's gone. Love that shot of him, like, getting ready to fight. And then next shot, bam, Predator walking away with his severed fucking head. And we get him, cleaning off the skull. And there's one shot where he's in the process of cleaning it off. And there's a little bit of King Willie meat left in that eye socket, and you're like, oh, God. It's pretty fucking gross. It's a quick blink and you miss it thing, but yeah, it's there. I'm like, ugh. But he hangs it in his trophy room, which we will see a little bit more of that later. We'll get into that later. But yeah, man, so Harrigan has a little more, I keep wanting to call him Danny Glover. Harrigan has a little more information now, and he wants to he wants to find this motherfucker. He wants to finish him. So he visits Danny's grave, and I love that kid, you know. Take that, you scum-sucking dog. He fucking playing with his toy gun. And I like that the Predator sees him, and the kid sees the Predator. Predator analyzes his like little toy gun and realizes, okay, this is just a fucking fake gun. Again, Predator's not fucking stupid, man. He's not dumb. I will say this, though. This Predator is a lot less subtle than the first one. If we have anything, like, this guy is not shy. Not to imply that the other one was, but that first Predator was very, you know, plotting. He was very patient. He killed his foe his prey one by one, and, you know, much more of a sinister hunter. This guy's like, I'm just gonna fucking kill everyone, you know? Obviously, he still upholds the honor of making sure they can defend themselves, making sure they're an actual threat and they're actually worth the kill. Like I said with this kid, like, he's not just going around killing anybody. Like, he sees that this kid's not a threat. It's not like he has a moral compass or anything. He's just like, there's no point in killing you, so fuck it. And the kid, you know, offers him, he's like, want some candy? And of course that leads to the fucking creepiest Predator line ever of him just, like, again, later on in the subway, he uses it a couple times after that. But he's that, want some candy? It's all distorted and shit. Oh, God, fucking weird. But yeah, so Harrigan is there at his grave, and he sees his necklace hanging from the tree, starts freaking out. Good shit. So he eventually tells Harrigan and Leona to meet him somewhere. And so they take the subway, which leads to probably I don't know if I'd call it my favorite scene of the movie, but it's up there. I really, really like this scene, dude. Holy shit. Start out with some, I wouldn't even call these guys gang members. They're just fucking punks. They're just douchebags, and they're, you know, sexually harassing this very scantily clad woman. Again, no excuse to harass anybody. If you see someone in public wearing something revealing, or not, you don't fucking do that shit. PSA from Days of Darkness, don't be a fucking creep. Moving on. But yeah, they're sexually harassing this young woman, and they're trying to mug a guy, and the guy pulls a gun out on him. One of the punks pulls out a gun. I love the, mine's bigger than yours. And everyone on that subway pulls out a fucking gun. 1997 Los Angeles. Everyone has a fucking gun. I don't know how accurate that is to 1997 Los Angeles in real time, but doesn't seem too out of the realm of reality. I think, you know, but fuck it, whatever. I don't fucking know. But moving on. So they all have their guns drawn, which makes all of the, and of, you know, of course, Jerry and Leona also pull out their weapons. So now everyone, and Predator sees that and he goes, oh, you're all getting fucked. Not literally. It's a very different movie. But he's like, yeah, you're all gonna die now. And busts his way in there. I love that he's shrouded in darkness. For some reason, doesn't use his camo when he's on top of the subway, but when he gets in, he does. I guess I don't fucking know. It's a cool shot. Whatever. But he breaks in there. He's fucking all these people up, and absolutely great scene. We get Jerry's death, where he's like, come on, motherfucker, let's dance. And the, you know, Predator's like, want some candy? And fucking, we just hear his death, but then Harrigan goes and sees what, oh, Leona, I didn't even mention that, I should. Very, very compelling aspect of the Predator, too. The Predator grabs Leona after she sees that Jerry has been killed, and, you know, his body's hanging upside down, and the Predator grabs her by the throat, and she's not too far away from the other people. Again, this Predator ain't shy. He fucking grabs her by the throat, kind of is looking at her body and shit, and realizes, oh my god, she's pregnant. So he just fucking just drops her and leaves. He's like, nope, No two for the price of one here. That was bad. That was bad. I'm gonna own it though. Anyways, so he leaves, and Harrigan gets there, finds out that Leona's pregnant, and then he starts to pursue the predator because I think the predator in camo runs across some roofs. So like some roofs, runs across some cars, and when Harrigan sees that, he's like, probably the predator. So he starts chasing him, and we are on to the final chase for the final battle. But before we really get the true final battle between Harrigan and the predator, he is cut off. He is T-boned by this fucking truck. It's the feds. It's Keys. They bring him into the truck, and they explain everything going on. And they explain what the predator is. We get some good references to the first movie with, talking about the location, and we get to see Anna on one of the little TV screens, which I thought was cool. But yeah, man, and I think Danny Glover just kind of reacts pretty well to realizing that there's a fucking alien, which I don't see how you don't gather that this thing is somehow paranormal. I mean, he's fucking invisible. So, maybe he's not. I see people critique that, and he's like, he doesn't react at all to that. And it's like, well, I mean, there's a scene where they go into a lab, and the scientist says that this metal is, because they bring the weapon that Danny had when he died, they went to go grab, and she's like, yeah, this doesn't match anything on the periodic table. And the fact that he's invisible, and yada, yada, yada. It's like, obviously this thing's otherworldly in some fashion. So I understand when he's not really surprised by that. But anyways, so they go in, and they realize that, because again, Dutch gave them information. And so they know that this thing sees body heat. That's how he sees people. So they mask their body heat with these suits, which is really smart. And they trap him in this the slaughterhouse that the predator goes to eat, and he's just going there to chow down, and now all these people are fucking breaking in his new home. Dick move, even though he's running around killing people. So, hey, you take and you give. But anyways, so they come in there, they're all masked out, and the predator can tell that something's off. He's like, okay, there's someone in here with me. So, and I think they attempt to kill him at one point. Yeah, they attempt to freeze him. That's what they do. They attempt to freeze him to study, and how government shit is. They want to study him and make money off of him. Yeah. So they try to freeze him. Predator gets out of it, and he realizes, okay, I can't see these fuckers. What the hell? And they were stupid, and it's this dark, very, very dark slaughterhouse. So they bring in flashlights, and the predator, again, another element to the predator, switches his field of vision, which leads me to believe that the thermal vision is not actually how the predator sees people. I know when he takes his mask off in the first one, it's a much more red version of thermal vision, which I feel like that's a really shitty way to live. It's just seeing red all the fucking time. Maybe it's different on his home world. I don't fucking know. But anyways, so, he switches through his different filters, basically, and he finds the one that, just shows light. And the only light in that building is their fucking flashlights. So Harrigan's freaking out in the truck. He's like, he can fucking see you. Turn your lights off. Kills it. Fucking slaughters everybody. We think he gets Keys where he shoots a fucking plasma caster seemingly right into his face, but I guess Keys dodged it. You can see he's a little fucked up, so I guess they caught him on the side and didn't really kill him. But yeah, so we're led to believe that fucking Keys is dead. And we get the first little brawl between the Predator and Harrigan, where Harrigan ends up shooting the shit out of the Predator, and he's like, oh, that was easy. And he fucking takes his mask off. I love, again, they're playing with the original a little bit. There was no real respect between the Predator and Harrigan. He just fucking ripped his mask off. Again, different contrasting little things that I fucking nerd out about. But yeah, so he rips off his mask, and we get a play on the old line from Arnold Schwarzenegger in the first one where he goes, "You're one ugly mother," and then he fucking gets goozled by the fucking Predator. And people think this is corny. I don't mind it because we get to see in the first one that Predators are well capable of speaking English. So I don't really mind this at all, but the Predator goozles him, and he finishes it, and he goes, "Motherfucker," and then throws him over his head. Keyes comes back, attempts to freeze the Predator again. Dude, just stop. Predator gets out of range and uses the smart discs and cuts Keyes in half. Holy shit, just boom, guts him. I thought it was a little weird that we didn't get the top half of his... Because it's done, like, behind a piece of meat. Like one of the big slabs of meat in the slaughterhouse. So you see his bottom half fall and a bunch of blood pour out, but no top half. So I'm like, what the fuck? Whatever. But yeah, man. And then we get... obviously, the Predator's a little fucked up from what happened to him on... with Danny Glover shooting the shit out of him. And I didn't even mention this, but I love the fact that this particular Predator is way more rebellious. He's not fully traditional. Obviously, he's hunting, but he is not necessarily going after the most dangerous prey. Like, he wants the glory, man. He wants trophies. He wants everything he can get. He kills an old lady with a fucking pistol. Like, this guy, yeah, he's not killing completely defenseless people, but it's not like he's going after what the first Predator was, which was, like, the best of the best. He's just fucking slaughtering people. I love the contrast between his rebellious nature and Danny Glover's. It makes for a great... Obviously, they can't really have too much civilized conversation or anything like that, but that's something I never really hear people talk about, and I fucking really like it. But yeah, man. So, the Predator's up there kind of hiding, and he has this, like, ventilator thing that he's using, so he's doing that, and Glover just tackles him off the fucking roof. For someone who has some height issues, not, like, his height, but he doesn't like heights. So he fucking tackles this Predator, which is impressive as shit. Must have been an offensive lineman or something. I hope that's the right position of football. I don't fucking watch football because I don't give a shit about sports. Moving on. So he fucking tackles the Predator, and this fucking thing is hanging off the side of the roof, and again, they play with the source material. It's not traditional. Predator realizes he's fucked. And I think this one kind of jumps the gun a little bit. I'm like, you're a fucking Yautja, dude. You can do something, surely, to get yourself out of this predicament. But he's like, oh, guess I'm fucked. And he fucking starts to do the beep, 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 beep. The bomb. I don't know why I did so many beeps there. I got really excited. So... But yeah, man, he starts fucking with his bomb and shit, and it starts going off, and Danny Glover's like, oh, again, same as Arnie, I know a bomb when I see one. And so he fucking grabs the smart disc that's embedded in the wall, and he fucking slices the Predator's arm off. And I'm like, whoa, I don't get how that stops the bomb. It's not like this piece of equipment is like infused in his skin. I don't know how that stops it. Maybe he severed a wire or something. Who fucking knows? I'm sure you could explain it. But yeah, man, so the Predator is now armless. He goes he's falling down the fucking, side of the building. He eventually is able to get onto a pipe and crash through this old lady's fucking bathroom. And he runs away. And, he heals himself, which was absolutely brutal. He fucking makes this weird blue goo and cauterizes his wound. Just brutal shit. Fucking love it. But yeah, man. So he ends up cauterizes the wound, leaves. Danny Glover again, good character work with that heights thing, man. He's very skittish. So he eventually gets into the bathroom, and Predator leaves. Danny Glover's following him. And I love the line. He's like, "It's okay, I'm a cop." And the old lady goes, "I don't think he gives a shit." So he fucking runs off. Predator is now going down an elevator shaft, and Harrigan's like, "Fuck! Like, why can't he just stay on the ground?" But he ends up going through there. The elevator's coming down, so he has no choice, and he has to fall down the elevator shaft, and then he's in this hole, and he's like, "This thing should be stopped." Like, not the elevator car, but like, I should be on the ground right now. But he's like, "Fuck it," and he fucking lets go, and he falls onto the Predator's spaceship. Is it a little far-fetched that a Predator spaceship is parked under an apartment building? Yeah, but, go fuck yourself. That is a little weird. I will be honest. But it is a fucking great effect. Get the final duel here. Predator tries to net Harrigan like he did that one Voodoo gang member, but very interesting. Glover still has the smart disc, and so he slices through the net, which is a really, he was fucking lucky as hell he had that thing still. The fight goes on a little longer. Eventually, the Predator is stabbed to death by the smart disc, and, Harrigan's like, "That's right, you fucking shithead. Shit happens!" And he fucking yanks it out, and his guts come spilling out. Fucking beautiful. Not a whole lot of guttage going on, not a lot of gore, but still is a pretty solid kill. But yeah, man, so that Predator just gets killed, does not do the self-sacrifice, does not do the blow-uppy thing, He just fucking gets killed. And that leads to... I didn't even mention the Predator also says "shit happens" before he starts to activate his bomb. That's the whole poetic nature of that line between those two. Moving on. So that brings out, 11 other fucking Predators. And credit to fucking Harrigan, man. I guess in the back of his mind, he's like... Because he just thinks they're going to kill him. And he's like... "Oh, I guess I'm fucked. Might as well go out like a badass." And he's like, "Who's next?" Because he's like, "Yeah, they're gonna fucking kill me. I'm done." But no, all these Predators walk past him, which apparently those were members of a football team who were all dressed up as Predators. Good shit, man. You can tell they're fucking huge. But the Elder Predator, which the fucking Elder... First of all, the actual Predator, the main Predator in this movie, once again, looks fucking phenomenal. He looks great. All these extra Predators look great. The Elder Predator looks fucking sick. I love him, dude. He looks so fucking cool. He ends up giving Harrigan this pistol that was from, 1817, I think, is when it was from. Ages ago. Long time ago, So he gives him this pistol, and he goes, "Take it." And they all speed off, and Harrigan's not out of the woods yet, though, man. Because he fucking... this ship's gonna take off, and he goes, "Oh, I don't want to go to space." And I also don't want to get blown up by this thing's fucking exhaust. So he has to run out, and... all the FBI gets there, and of course we get a big explosion at the end when, he's all covered in fucking ash, much like Dutch was in the original. The feds get there, they're like, "What the fuck happened?" And they're all running in there seeing, and they're pissed because they're like, "We were this fucking close to getting them, you fucking dick." Because they took the dead Predator with them and all their technology and all that shit. I'm wondering, I think Harrigan dropped the smart disc, so he didn't have that anymore. But yeah, so they were this close to getting it. They're pissed, and that final little thing of Harrigan looking up in the sky is like, "Don't worry, shithead. You'll get another chance." Wish we would have maybe gotten another Predator movie with Harrigan. Maybe, man. Think it would have been cool, but I'm very happy with this, guys. Predator 2 fucking rules. I just spoiled the shit out of it. Still, no matter what, go out and check it out. It's a fucking great movie. Great characters, great action, great fucking horror, death, blood, gore, all that shit. Which, speaking of which, we are done with the review portion of this video. But you know what we gotta do now, baby? We gotta get into the blood, the guts, and the gory bits. We gotta get into my kill of the film. Stick around. Predator 2 is pretty fucking brutal, man. We get some really, really good shit in here. Obviously, skin corpses galore in the drug lord's house. The drug lord getting stabbed in the chest. Beautiful stuff there. Loved El Scorpio's death. Getting shot up by Harrigan and fucking falls off the big old building. The Predator's death himself was really fucking cool with the smart disc and all that green blood flying out of him. Loved King Willie's death. Again, that cut to that severed head. Kind of a callback to Billy's death in the first one. Billy! Anyways. Had to get a little Arnie impression there. But yeah, man. That was fucking beautiful. Just the cut to that severed head is great. I would say, as far as kill of the film, I know what my kill of the film is. I'm trying to think of other standout deaths. Danny's death is kind of lame, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of just him getting pulled up into the ceiling, whoopie-doopie-doo, fucking whatever. But especially for such a narratively important death, I think that could have been a little better, but it's just me. But yeah, easily, man, kill of the film has to go to Jerry. Bill Paxton's character, him getting killed on the subway. He makes that last defiant chance. I love that he throws a golf ball at the Predator, and he takes a golf club and he's like, "All right, motherfucker, let's dance." And it does not go too well for him. We first see him hung upside down on the subway when Leona finds him, but then when Harrigan fucking comes to the rescue. Well, not comes to the rescue, but he goes to see what the fuck is going on, and he just sees the Predator rip this kid's fucking spine out of his back, and you see his skull come with it, and you're like, oh, fuck! And just absolutely, I mean, he was already dead, but it's still just fucking brutal as all living shit. Just yanks that shit out of him, and Harrigan's like, "Jerry!" and he goes running after the Predator. That's some big fucking balls on Harrigan, man. Like, just to chase a Predator is fucking crazy. But yeah, Jerry gets my kill of the film, man. Again, Predator 2, fucking great movie. I 100% recommend it, guys. Absolutely wonderful stuff. Go check it out. Next time on Days of Darkness, we are going to be getting right into the next installment of the Alien and Predator kind of hybrid series that we're doing. And we're going to talk about Alien 3. I have not seen that movie in, God, fucking middle school, early high school, somewhere around there. It's been a long time since I've seen this one, and to be honest, it's because I don't remember liking it. But in recent years, I've heard people say, hey, give it another shot. It ain't that bad, and some people still shit on it. Obviously, I'm a much older man now, so I want to see what a modern Alex thinks of this movie. So I'm looking forward to that very much so. It's probably one of the, obviously I love all the, oh no, I don't love all these movies, but I like watching all these movies, but I think Alien 3 is one of the ones that I'm really looking forward to watching again. There are some other ones that I am fucking not looking forward to watching again, but we'll get there when we get there, right? Without further ado, y'all, take care of each other, keep watching horror, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace.